At Simmons Bank, they're with you every step of the way. Call Ken Do, 423-381-3427.
18 minutes after 7. Hey, we're doing our Logan Thompson Law segment a little earlier this morning, and once a month following the Cleveland Board of Education meeting, board member Matthew Coleman, of course also an attorney, the Logan Thompson Law Firm, they take their time and spotlight what happened last night. Good morning, Matthew Coleman. How are you, sir?
I'm great, brother. Got me out of bed a little early this morning. This is good.
That's all right.
That's
Your
all right.
family said thank you.
Well, they did. They did. Sarah gets to take the kids to school, so she's happy with that.
So let's talk about last night. What's happening? What happened?
It was exciting, and and it was actually a shorter meeting than the last one, which was sometimes nice to get home. But had a lot of great things. Got a lot of great spotlights, and we've got the director here with us and Chairman Nate, and so I'm going to let them kind of jump into a little bit of that.
All right. Good morning, Dr. Jeff Elliott, Director of Schools.
Good morning, Steve. Yeah, we had a great evening last night. Just a couple of highlights at the beginning that I wanted to highlight from the director's point of view. We've got a lot of happening. Spring is upon us. When spring break hits, we know that all the exciting things in the spring that go on. And so just the month of March, we've already started enrollment for next school year. And I just wanted to mention that it's online. We're asking people, go ahead and get online. You can register and enroll now. Kindergarten, we've been here to talk about that. Kindergarten registration is open. It's online. We're going to have a special gathering on March 28th at the Raider Arena on that Saturday for families to come out. So I really wanted to highlight that. And also, we have a special evening on March 20th during the month of March. All our elementary students who are in choir at all the schools, they come together for an honors chorus concert on that Friday night over at Lee. And so that was some of the highlights that I mentioned during my director's update last night. So a lot happening. I know these guys have some other things, and I'll be happy to share a few other highlights here in a few minutes. But those are just a couple of highlights I wanted to mention from my update last night.
Nate Tucker is the chairman of the Cleveland Board of Education. Nate, good morning.
Morning, Steve. Thanks for having us today.
Yes, sir.
So last night was a big meeting, even though it was short. We approved a contract extension for the director of schools. I just want to kind of take a little bit of time to kind of talk about how we got there. 2 years ago, we embarked on this journey of hiring a new director of schools, and we did a lot of interaction with the community. We did surveys and collected a lot of information. And some of the things that stood out for the data that was there involved communication. And so I found that interesting because we have a communication strategic plan, and Dr. Elliott's going to talk a little bit about that here in a second. But one of the things that we did was worked with Dr. Elliott to make sure that was going to be something that was addressed, and it has been. And so this whole process of going through an evaluation and then in turn talking about the contract, we evaluated him on 5 categories: director of board relations, community relations, staff relations, finance and operations, and instructional leadership. And each board member rated him and scored him accordingly. And so his score ended up being 3.63, and I think we may have mentioned that in the past. But I mentioned that because that highlights the work that Dr. Elliott has done over the last 2 years. And then talking about communication, that's been a huge part of our strategy, and we're excited about where we're headed. We're just elated that great things are ahead for Cleveland City Schools.
Let's talk a little more about the extension. Now, how long is the contract extension for Dr. Elliott?
You have the option of doing a 3 or 4 year contract, and we went with the 4-year contract.
So 4 years, as Dr. Elliott was chanting 4 more years. I thought that was interesting. And get serious just a second. What was the scoring scale? 1 to what?
1 to 4.
1 to
and
4.
3.63 was the rating.
All right, very good. Matt Coleman, talk about it from the board standpoint with Dr. Elliott.
Yeah, and I think after we did that review, maybe on the last time I was here, we chatted a little bit about that, and that's a good score. It's also a score that shows, I think, that we all work with it. We need to continue to improve. We need to strive. I remember being in the military, and you had to do your annual reviews, and if ever you got a 5 on all your scores, it was a bad score, even though it was a top score you could get, because there's just never room for improvement. And we know that we've always got to grow. We've always got to look for that next thing that we can do better at, and I think Jeff knows that, and the board knows that, and so we're not holding ourselves at a level of perfection in any aspect, and we're always trying to find those new opportunities.
Dr. Elliott, your reaction? You'll have another 4 years as director of city schools.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say I really appreciate the community for all that they do to support Cleveland City Schools and the leadership that our board has shown and the vision they have set for us. And it just helps set the standard for our whole school system. Setting the goals and also their vision and the challenges that they put before us help us grow, like Mr. Coleman was saying. So first of all, thank you and gratitude to our school board. Always great things happening in Cleveland City Schools, so it's always a pleasure to be able to come and express all the wonderful things happening. You know, our teachers do such a fabulous job each and every day. We can't say enough about them. And then our students coming through the halls and being committed to learning, that's what it's about. And so when I first started, as almost 2 years ago, I stated to our people and I shared with our community that we are on a mission in Cleveland City Schools, and we take it seriously. We're here to address academics. Obviously, we're an academic institution, so that's one of our areas, but we have other areas such as student supports. We really look at ways to bridge those gaps to learning. And so what are some supports that we can do to wrap around so that we can eliminate those barriers that are out there for students to learn? And if we can do that, then that helps us on the academic side. Also, we're about our employees. We have fabulous employees, but we also have to keep those employees and get more employees and recruit more employees, the effective ones, because that's what makes the difference, is when those teachers are in front of those students, when our child nutrition workers are there serving and meeting the needs of our students, when our transportation and our bus drivers are out there, and we're about our employees. And the last part of that is we set out on a mission to make sure, as Mr. Tucker mentioned earlier, about communication. We look at ways to help communicate internally, but also externally. And last night in our meeting, back to our meeting notes, Brandy King presented our communication plan and some of the things that we've been doing this past year. And one of those highlights is about an app that we've started using and our teachers use called Talking Points. And it has really helped us out and helped our teachers communicate with one-on-one with each student and their families, actually. It also translates into the language that family might be coming from, so that a teacher can be texting a message about homework or a special event happening in their class in English. But then for a family, a parent who might not know that English so clearly, it translated into their language. And so this has been a game changer for us. So we continue to look at ways to communicate internally but also externally. So those are just some of the things I'm excited about. We still are on a mission, and we'll continue to take it one day at a time.
Dr. Jeff Elliott. Matt Coleman, anything else you want to mention here?
Yeah, I want to expand on that a little bit with some of the things we're doing for the students. We also recognized our SROs last night, and I've said this before, but I don't know who chooses and identifies these officers to be in these school systems, but they're doing an incredible job. And you see the kids love on them and them love on the kids. When we're in not as bad today, but in the past, just a society that, you know, kind of questions from their home life, you know, what is the law enforcement like in this community? And these kids are getting to see the best of the best there. They're getting to see how much these officers care for them, want the best for them, want their safety, want their protection, and they stand in that gap, and they really do show a great deal of love for these children every day. And I just cannot say enough about the SROs that have been identified, and I'll say that about the city and in the county school systems. I've seen them at both ends. They're just good people doing good things, and cannot say enough about them with that law enforcement. We also had a little bit of a facilities update, and I'm going to have to get my glasses back on because I can't see all my fine print. We did a Cleveland Middle School. We've got our growth, and it's continuing to go, and so we approved a little bit of an evaluation process to continue to look at the middle school and how we might continue to serve the needs of that school as a growth may come in that area as we continue to build and develop. We've been looking at the softball facility, and frankly, what we've gotten back from the folks has just not been satisfactory, and so we made a motion to continue to look at the options to help the softball facility. And lastly, you may recall that we purchased the old Valley Head Church here on Mouse Creek last year, and we've been slow to take steps on that. We don't necessarily need the facility right now, but we don't want it to sit idle for too long. And so we passed a motion last night to be able to take in and consider some potential rental options for that, and how those might look if people want to use that either as a church or a venue.
I'll nominate
of some
Nate Tucker to
sort.
be the pastor.
There you go.
Is that Nate? Will you do that? You go to
I think you want a congregation when you do that.
I think you and I'll take that. We'll be all right.
He'll get the Lee University Choir in there, and that
Pass
brings- that
offering
brings
plate.
it-
Hey, I
Come on.
guarantee you, we'll do it. We'll make it happen. Guys, thank you so much. I can't thank Matt, again, the Logan Thompson Law Firm. This is what
Yes.
you guys are all about, is community service. You surrender your time that you guys pay for, and
I just think that's so important for this community to do, and I think it's special to this community compared to so many other communities that you look around and all the businesses and they're giving back. And as we hire new attorneys, we continue to expand. What we just keep pushing is this is our community, not Chattanooga, not other places. Southeast Tennessee is our community, and so we just continue to pour into them as much as we can. So call us if you need us. We're out there. Call us if you don't need us. Sometimes we just need to get out of the office and have breakfast.
the Logan Thompson Law Firm, LoganThompsonLaw.com. And hey, guys, by the way, hello to Yates Primary School.
Yes.
2 of the kindergarten classes later this afternoon will have a very interesting speaker, Bridget.
This is not good.
I will be speaking to 2 of the kindergarten classes.
All right.
Raise up a child in the way they should go. And
Thanks for the warning.
And-
yeah, I know.
We'll get the word out. There you
Show
go.
them what not to do.
yeah. Thanks, guys. Good
Hey,
to
we've
see
got the Alumni Hall of Fame coming up too. I think
Yes.
those applications are coming to an end maybe April.
Yeah, April 30th is the end. May 1st, really, we close that out. But just wanted to mention that. Get online. It's posted on our website. We need some nominations to come in as we make selections for the fall crew that's coming in. We've made some changes there. We are highlighting specific categories this year with Hall of Fame, and those are on the nomination form now when you go on there. So check it out. It's online.
All right, we'll be back in a moment.
This news update brought to you